associated for a very long time with the United Nations as the wife of Sir C.P. Srivastava, who has been the long-standing Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization in London. So from that side, you know the United Nations. However, it is from a totally different angle that we have invited you here today. And this is because you have devoted your entire life to sharing and providing access to seekers, providing access to the experience of realization. And this is what this program today is about, is so that indeed the second birth becomes something else than an evangelical reference or the theme of lectures, but so that it becomes a happening. We felt that staff members of the UN have a right to be informed of this very great happening, which is the actualization of our potential to enter into a new state of awareness, much announced, much lost about, but not that consequently experienced so far. I hasten to a few guests from outside, and I believe that we do not have a very long period of time. This is more or less a lunch pause here. I wouldn't like to talk any longer. If there are some people who came from the press corps of the UN, I would like them to, I would suggest that they sit in the first row, because there could be a brief exchange at the end of the program. Shri Mataji does not have very much time. She flies off New York this afternoon. Thank you very much, Shri Mataji, for addressing this meeting.
There are no press people or what?
Gregor, are there any press people?
There are.
Is there anybody from the press here? Is the gentleman from TASS around? No. He doesn't seem so ashamed.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it. We cannot describe it. Also, unfortunately, at this human level, we cannot feel it. So one has to be a little humble about it. That so far we have not known the truth, the absolute truth. In all religions, it is described that you have to have your second birth. Means you have to have your selfhood, that you have to have self-knowledge. Every religion has talked about it. Despite that, the religions have not been spirit-oriented. They are either power-oriented or money-oriented. Any amount of science cannot give you your assent. And any amount of reading cannot do that. You have to become. All kinds of things people have done in the search of truth. I mean, there have been so many seekers in these modern times. William Blake has said it clearly that the men of God will be born and they'll seek the truth and they'll make others divine. That's the time today has come. But one must understand that it is our evolutionary process by which you actualize the experience of your spirit. It's the actualization. It is not talking about it. The truth is that you are not this body, mind, these conditionings, egos, and you and jobs, but you are the pure spirit. Unless and until you find the pure spirit, you can never be satisfied. You may be identified with any organization, with any kind of a cult or any kind of an idea. That is not going to give you satisfaction, it's just an ego satisfaction. What you have to get to know is yourself, by which a real benevolence is achieved. And for that, a mechanism is placed within us already. For living process, we don't pay anything. We see here flowers. How much did we pay to Mother Earth or to this bush of flowers? Nothing. So you can't pay for it. That's one thing we should understand. You can't pay for your evolution. Secondly, we have become human beings. And that we have achieved this without doing much effort about it. So it is effortless to stand on your head or to read books or to think that we are all going to achieve it after our death is not true. So many things have come, like yarn from the heads of some people, and people just followed as if they have no personality, they have no understanding. Have we found the solution? UN is there, I know. My husband has been working for United Nations for 16 years, then he resigned ultimately. But despite all that, one has to know, has UN achieved its goal? No. What is the reason for all these problems? From where does this basis of problems come in? Human beings are responsible for most of the human problems, not the divine. And these problems come to us from our own being, our own centers, which are subtle centers within us. When these centers go into jeopardy, we get into troubles, physical, mental, emotional. But when these centers are put right, you are all right. I am very happy to tell you that we have 3 doctors in India who have got their MD in curing some very incurable diseases. And there are 7 doctors in England who are now recording how many people have been cured through Sahaj Yoga. Without it, you cannot get rid of your physical, mental, and emotional problems because your centers are out of gear. They are undernourished, dislocated, and have no connection with the whole. These centers are to be enlightened. But we are so much used to bombastic advertisement and all kinds of marketing that we take to such things much more. I mean, somebody comes up dressed up in, say, orange dress, we very much impressed. Some of them might be coming directly from jails. Superficially, if you start looking at it, there's a market even for seekers, and so many are lost. I'm sorry to say, so many are lost because they do not seek their benevolence. They should find out. What did we find out? You should find out from the disciples, what did they find out? It is an inner built-in system already there existing within you, which gives you this experience of the Spirit. Because you are the pure Spirit. You are not this body, this mind, these conditionings, ego, as I told you, but you are the pure Spirit. And there is an all-pervading power, which is named by different names, like Islam calls it Ruh. In India they call it Paramachaitanya. In the Bible it is called as all-pervading power of God's love, or you can say is the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. We have never felt it before that it existed. It does exist. Who does all these living works? Who did our evolution? Who gave us this brain? We take it for granted. And this kind of attitude towards ourselves is very detrimental to our spiritual growth. The most important thing is to understand that all these problems come to us from within. Genetic problems, they also are there. Of course, genetically we are different. Maybe we can say we have races, all right, agreed. But who is the superior race? Who belongs to the superior race? Those who are aggressive, those who kill people, those who indulge into all kinds of nonsensical things, stupid, idiotic people, are they of a superior level, or those who keep themselves pure, who keep themselves simple, who are full of compassion, the saints? But I have to tell you one thing, that whatever you might have done, whatever wrongs you might have done, so-called, but divinity within you is absolutely intact. You might have followed any false guru, you might have followed any false things, you might have done something which is not righteous, but divinity cannot be touched because it is eternal. It's like some clouds have covered the sun. It is there. Only it has to manifest. And to manifest it, there is an instrument within. This knowledge is not modern. It's very ancient knowledge. And if it comes, say, from an India, especially from a lady, one should not doubt it. We have had lots of knowledge from the West about science and much more from men. So it doesn't matter if a lady can tell you something. But But one has to understand that we have overgrown outside. We are extroverts. There must be some development within. So this is the knowledge of our roots. I don't say you should accept me blindfolded at all, because you are free to ascend or go to hell. Nobody can stop. This freedom has been given to you, so nobody can stop it. You can ruin yourself, you can destroy yourself, do what you like with yourself. But there is a path by which you can absolutely enter into the kingdom of God. Now see the problems that we have. The first thing that happens to you when self-realization takes place, it happens because there is a power within us in the triangular bone called sacrum, Kundalini. It's called Kundal. Kundal means coils, because it is coiled up in 3.5 coils. This power is there. You can see in some people pulsating when it rises. And when it pierces through your fontanelle bone area, then it gets connected to this all-pervading power. It's not just putting hand on your fontanelle, I should say, now you are baptized. No. It's an actualization. If you say you are a self-realized person, you are a twice born, it's not just a certificate I am twice born. Supposing tomorrow I put a label on me that I am a member of you, and I am not, because I have no powers. If you are a twice born person, you have to have some powers. If you are a spiritual person, you have to have some spiritual powers. Otherwise, you are not. So, as a result of this happening, first of all, as I told you, when this Kundalini passes through your different centers, it nourishes it. These are actually 7 centers, but the Kundalini passes through 6 centers. These centers are made of left and right side, sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic in the center, and this is the center about which I am talking. This is the central path which Buddha has described. So this power, this is the residual power which rises, passes through these centers. Last time I did tell you about what are the problems of bureaucrats. And if you want, I can repeat them again a little bit. My husband has been a bureaucrat all his life. And I've been always in contact with so many bureaucrats all my life. I mean, that's my another life. Their main problem is they think too much. And thinking too much causes a very big problem. For one center, we don't have the thing. Here, if you see the second center, the yellow one, which looks after our liver, our pancreas, spleen, kidneys, and the lower part of intestines. Also, it has a very important function to convert the fat cells for the use of the brain. This is much more important. So when you think too much all the time, this conversion goes on, and the other subsidiary jobs, you can call them, like looking after your liver and all these things, is neglected. So physically, first thing that happens is your liver goes out. With the liver, it has a job of converting all poison into heat and emitting it out. But it cannot. It doesn't function. So the heat is accumulated. With this heat you get hot-tempered, nervous. Then heat rises upward. When it rises upward, there's another center, we call it right heart. This, if it is caught up into that heat, gives you asthma. Supposing that heat doesn't rise higher and moves sideways, then it attacks your pancreas, you get diabetes. Mostly the bureaucrats get diabetes. Surprising. Supposing in a village you go, in India, they take at least 3 to 4 spoons of sugar every day, the villagers. They never get diabetes. They don't know what that disease is. The reason is they don't think. They lead a very simple life, sleep well, enjoy themselves. Then, after that is even more dangerous thing, is the spleen. The spleen becomes extremely hectic with people who are doing such important works. You have to be in time, you have to be slave of your watch all the time. Then the bosses are there, the newspaper, everything quite shocking. I mean, you have to have sensationalization. Newspaper is not here today, I'm not surprised, because there's no sensation in getting self-realization. So that sensationalization acts on our mind. And as a result, we become hectic. And when we become hectic, this poor spleen doesn't know how to carry on producing red blood corpuscles for the use of emergencies. So the attack comes, and what you get is blood cancer. You will be happy to know that blood cancer has been completely cured by surgery, completely, without changing any blood or anything, of many people. 3 of them were architects. 1 of them was a bureaucrat. After that, this heat can reach your kidneys. And that's how you stop your kidney functioning. You have to take dialysis as a certificate for you to spend money and die. Doctors will never tell you that dialysis doesn't help. It doesn't cure you. They want to give you hope. And then lastly what you get is the constriction of your intestine, and you get constipated and all the problems of the constipation. All these things happen to you because of one center. So imagine there are all these 7 centers which are to be put right. And unless and until we do something about it, we are in for trouble. Not only physically, also mentally, also spiritually. Because there are many gurus and many things in the market. Just, I don't know, they mesmerize or do what they like. They achieve nothing. They talk of something that the world is going to collapse or something we must do for peace. What can they do for peace? So many people have got peace awards. But if you meet them privately, you'll have to use a barge pole. So hot-tempered, I tell you. Impossible if there's no peace within. How can you give peace to anybody? Now where is this peace? It's not outside, it's within yourself. With realization, you are on the periphery, outside of a wheel. You jump onto your axis. Axis is silent, and you start watching all your activity like a witness. Become absolutely peaceful. And you watch it, and you witness it. This witnessing state has been described in so many scriptures. But nobody thinks that if we have to be spiritual, we have to develop that witnessing state. Firstly, when Sahaja Yoga arises above this center which is on the optic chiasma, you become thoughtlessly aware. In Sanskrit called nirvichar samadhi. Thoughtlessly but aware. You are absolutely aware. We are all the time jumping on the cusp of the future or the past thoughts. But by this, you establish yourself in the present. And in the present, there is no thought. There where you grow spiritually. All religions have told about this in this way or that way. But if the whole direction of this religion is towards power and towards money, how can you reach that state? It's not talking big or describing something great or sermonizing, but it is something that has to happen within ourselves. You have to become something. Even in Quran, Muhammad Sahib has said at the time of Qiyamah, your hands will speak, and this is exactly what happens in Sahaja Yoga, that you can feel your centers on your fingertips. Everyone has talked about it, but we are not looking at it. I was surprised, I was in Russia, and thousands came to Sahaja Yoga and got it, and so deeply. Communism has done some good to them, I must say. Definitely. This kind of freedom to choose, to abandon all value system, has been of no help to us. I don't know what to say about their government, but the people are so beautiful and they shun all other nonsense. They are so sensitive to spirituality. I mean, this hall would not even fit in for a small village there, you'll be surprised. I had to always arrange big stadiums. Thank God they have lots of stadium in every place. But if you come to so-called democratic countries, I don't know what has happened to them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the media, maybe the so-called freedom that we have misused. Maybe our attention has lost that capacity to feel the divinity. It shifts so fast. People are so shifty. One has to respect oneself as a human being because there is divinity within you. Animals don't have that. There is divinity within you. And unless and until you get your divine manifesting, how are you going to know what you are? You are fantastic. I tell you, you are fantastic. But first, you are to be connected to that all-pervading power. Without connection, this has no meaning. In the same way, you have no meaning till you are connected. I read one book recently, The Limits of Science, and there he asked 3 questions which science cannot answer. How are we here? What are we here for? And what are we going to do? All these 3 questions can be answered in Sahaja Yoga after self-realization. It is surprising that in the West there are so many seekers, but they don't understand what they are seeking. Just by proclaiming something, we are this and we are that, they have achieved nothing. You cannot achieve anything just by saying we are this and we are that. So something has to happen. Now this transformation takes place in no time. It's that quick. And everybody can get this transformation that you get yourself. In short, I'll try now to describe you the nature of science and the nature of the spirit. Science is not conclusive. It doesn't give you absolute truth. It goes on changing from this to that. If we had known absolute truth, there would have been no quarrel, no fight. Everybody says the same thing. But we don't know the absolute truth. That's why we have theories, we have so many cults, so many ideas, so many, we can say, dogmas, all kinds of things. But if we know the absolute truth, how can we quarrel then? We know the absolute. We know that. All of us will know the same because spirit is a universal being. United Nations is established to create universality in human being. But unless and until they get self-realization, they cannot. After getting self-realization, only they will realize that you are a universal being. These races, these countries, and these various things which separate man from man are artificial, are mythical. Basically, you are a universal being. So the first thing you realize you are a universal being, so that you can, of course, feel your own centers on your fingertips, and also you can feel the centers of others on your fingertips. It actually happens to you. And when you feel these centers, if you know how to correct yours and the correct of others, problem is solved. Then you don't have to worry about illness. This is a mother's style of putting some chocolate on top. Somehow it should go into your sharp intelligence that we have to still achieve for which we are born. But we have to respect ourselves. That's the main point I think is missing, that we don't respect ourselves as human beings. That there's a little breakthrough now more left to us. Then the second very important thing about the nature of spirit is that you become absolutely peaceful, absolutely dynamic, at the same time you are extremely compassionate. And just your concern is not only for yourself, for your own problems, but for the whole world. I'll give you a very simple example. I went to Russia, and the people who arrived by the first flight were 25 Germans, young German surgeons. I asked them, I said, how are you here? So they said, Mother, is it not our responsibility to be here? I said, no, not yours, your forefathers. They said, but we are responsible also for our forefathers. That's why we are here. And there are tears in their eyes. And the way they helped these Russians, I tell you, day and night, the way they worked on them, it was really remarkable. So the compassion becomes so pure that you don't expect anything. You just want to really give love, a pure love to everyone. And then you establish yourself into universal religion. That means you respect all the religions, all the essences of religions, and you see the relationship that exists between them, which is very strong. And you find that all these religions were born on the same tree of spirituality, only we have plucked them. We are fighting with these dead flowers. These dead flowers, this is my religion, this is my religion, this is my religion. So you have fundamentalism. When you become a universal personality, your religion is universal, which encompasses all the religions, which many people don't like. I was surprised that Dalai Lama said, we don't want to have a universal religion because we are different people. How are we different? I would like to know. We smile the same way, laugh the same way, cry the same way. We have the same feelings. How are we different? Because we have different hair or different skin. After we should not be like robots or regimented. We have to be different. That's the variety which makes life so interesting and beautiful. Because we are different to look at. You just open your skin and find everybody has the same nerve, the same muscle, everything there intact. Just the same. It's such a skin deep difference. It just vanishes into thin air. We have very good seminars in India sometimes. We get 3,000 people from 55 countries. I have never seen them quarreling with each other. Never. Never fighting. Such love. Of course, they pull each other's legs, all right. There's a lot of humor. That's all. But such fun, such enjoyment. We are missing it all. Why? Without self-realization, you cannot work out United Nations, I can tell you that. You cannot. Because the attention is more on other things than your spirit, which has promoted this idea of United Nations. We have to be at the level of our spirit to understand the essence of United Nations. It's not bureaucracy. It's not any nation, it's not any race, but it's ourselves who has to achieve it. It's for our benevolence we have to achieve it. It is my privilege to come and talk to you because I feel sometimes very close. I've been here many a times before also, and to celebrate so many of your functions I have been with my husband here. But that's a different line. This is a much more important subject which has substance in it. By the time you leave United Nations, you shouldn't feel, what did we get? What you have to get is this universal nature of your spirit. That has to be achieved through self-realization. I think the employees of UN have to take to it. But I was surprised that they are more attached to things which are more showmanships, and people are doing all kinds of marketing. It cannot be marketing. One thing one should understand. It cannot be some showmanship. It's something genuine. How can you live with something which is not genuine? Moreover, it is so relaxing because everything now is worked out through the divine power which looks after you. which manages everything. All your problems are solved, even material problems are solved. That's what they say, the blessings. Now in England, you must be knowing that the unemployment is the highest. But not a single Saj Yogi is there who has not got employment. Everyone who has come to Saj Yoga has prospered. Because your attention becomes so alert. Because you become so wise. You become brilliant. Of course, my husband was a very, very brilliant man, no doubt. He got this job because of brilliance, very capable, everything. But he says, now I have the peace of my mind. Now he is a Saj Yogi. If you have this at the time when you are working, you'll be surprised, you'll become really dynamic. And the amount of blessings you'll have every moment, you will feel the blessings coming down. Of course, every evening you have to just meditate for 10 minutes, that's all. Just 10 minutes you have to give to yourself. Just to see that this connection is all right. Because in the beginning it dwindles a little bit, it comes up, goes down, you have to fix it. And just to check if this connection is all right or not, 10 minutes you have to meditate. Moreover, it is a collective happening that a microcosm has become the macrocosm. That you have become part and parcel of the whole. As it said Akbar, is the great body of the divine, you have become part and parcel of that. And supposing a nail is cut out, it will not grow. So you have to belong to that body. Of course, you don't have to pay for it, again I must tell you. There are some organizations who will just have introductory lecture and then will be money-making lectures. It's not like that in such. Of course, supposing you have to arrange some hall or something, you have to pay for that, that's all right. But not for your evolution, not for your self-knowledge, and for all the subtle knowledge of this subtle instrument within you. And this instrument is meticulous. It is not like one theory of Avogadro challenged by another and then Einstein's theory challenged. No, you cannot challenge it. It's absolute. It's so efficient, it's absolute. It doesn't fail. It is meta-science. You can call it, it is meta-modern. It is so fantastic, but we can't believe that we are fantastic. We have no faith in ourselves. This is our biggest problem. What I have to tell you, that this world is not going to be ruined. There are many organizations these days afloat saying that you better release some money from your purse, otherwise this world will be really destroyed. Such absurd things, I don't know how we accept. How can money save this world? God doesn't understand money. He doesn't understand banking, does he? So for intelligent people, it is very easy to understand that a time has come for us to achieve that selfhood. Luckily, you have a very good center here also, though those who are running it are very disappointed because they say people are not responsive. I'm surprised. I can't believe that in United Nations we don't have seekers of truth. I can't believe that. so many things you achieve which I cannot describe in this short lecture. But one thing I can tell you, that you just jump in the ocean of joy. This joy cannot be described because it is so singular, absolute. It is to be experienced. Whatever may be your age, whatever may be your race, whatever you may be, you just enjoy human beings. You don't have to leave your society, you don't have to divorce, you don't have to give up your families, you don't have to go to Himalayas and stand on your head, nothing of the kind. It's already there, you have done all this in your last lives. This life you just get the reward of what you have done. It's very simple, all of you can get it. After all, you are serving your nations and serving United Nations, and it's a very blissful thing you are doing. And why not you get it? I know these days there are some other problems which you are facing. But if you build up your spiritual forces, all these problems can be solved very easily. Because above all is the power of divine love, which we have never used. We have only used the power of hatred. And you just try to use that power, you'll be amazed how powerful you are. You can give realization to others. You can cure people, you can cure yourself. You can know about everything about this subtle divine knowledge. Now then you read Bible, then you read Quran, then you read Gita, you will know between the lines what is written. I've been so much associated with United Nations, and always I felt tremendous love for all the people who are working with it. But sometimes it's difficult to convey. Christ has said, meek in the heart will inherit the earth. That meekness should be there. That's all. That we have to have it. May God bless you all. I'm sorry I have to go to some other place, and if somebody has some questions I would like to answer, because there's little time I could devote to that. Yes, please.
Yes, Doctor.
I don't know how to put it. Just now, Her Holiness claimed that leukemia has been cured, and the cassette which I heard where AIDS has been cured. Now, if that is true,
Yes.
then I think Her Holiness is letting the world down by not preventing millions of people dying from AIDS around the world.
Sir, I would like to tell you, in this America, if we try curing people, we'll all end up in jail. You know that? That's the law. You don't know. They come to India to get cured. You cannot do it. Law is in favor of doctors. And if I try anything here, I assure you, we'll end up in jail. Even if you are from the UN. It's a very funny law, I know that, but it is.
But these diseases that are all over the world.
Yes, then it's all right. Then we have places where you can come and you can eat. But there's one thing I would tell you. We are not here for curing people only. Otherwise thousands would be coming on our head. We are here to make you doctors. So you become the doctor and you cure. You can, you try, you can. It's a fact. Why should I tell you lies? What's the use? It's a fact. You can cure. Leave alone anybody. You need not be a doctor. They're very simple method. I'll tell you the reason. Because we are dealing with the fundamentals of which we are made. Supposing you have to treat a tree. You start looking after the leaves or the branches or the bark. You can't. You have to go to the roots. If you know how to reach the roots, you can cure. You do. Also for AIDS, I must say. I'm not afraid to say that. We have. They're very funny people, you know. They don't want to live, first of all. And they don't want to give up their bad habits. Such a state we are in that you cannot tell them that homosexuality has brought this problem to you. You cannot. You understand that? So now if you want, you try it. You can prove it if I have said something wrong. It's not a challenge, but it's an offer, a very humble offer. So many are dying, but they will not come to search. Why not you all become doctors yourself and do it? You can. Who want to do that? Let's see. Put up your hands. What about you, sir, who asked the question? You should do it.
I am very sorry, I am still unconvinced. I am only suggesting that you will be doing the greatest
I am
God's
doing.
name.
I
There
am
are
doing.
millions of people who are dying of these diseases all over the world.
But I tell
Don't
you,
blame America.
I'm not blaming America. I'm just saying the law is bad here. That's all. I'm not blaming America for that. I'm not blaming anywhere. I'm not here to blame me. But what I'm trying to say, that it can be done when people, now as you said, there are thousands. So you need at least 1,000 to cure them. How can they all approach you? So I want you to get this power. It's in you. To get this knowledge, within 1 month's time you can do it. It's a fact. It is fantastic. Now, as you know, at least you can trust my husband, you can ask him, I'll cure. I'm alone. I'm traveling every day, going from places to places, meeting doctors. You don't have to go to any medical college, nothing.
The question was from a medical doctor, Shri.
Ah,
Can we?
I'm very happy,
distinguished
doctor.
one.
You should meet, we have a doctor here who
I
has done a research.
I know him.
Or Dr. Chuk Apai,
Yeah.
he's done a research
I know him.
on asthma.
Yes.
Please,
Okay.
I tell you, if you doctors open your mind a little bit, you can help thousands. I'm so happy to know because I myself have done medicine. But I found that medicine also is very, sometimes conditions us. There's something beyond. There's somebody asking me a question.
Yes. I have a question about a person that is experiencing a bulging disc and spondylitis. Is that going to be a problem to do the medication and medicine that we're doing?
I couldn't get to it. You repeat it.
Spondylitis.
A spondylitis and a bulging disc. When a person starts to meditate,
It is absolutely curable, spondylitis. When you feel guilty, you get it. Alright? Are you a Catholic?
I used to be.
Then you will get it.
I am a Sahaja.
Now you are such, so you get rid of it.
I'm sorry. Perhaps we can just take one or two more questions, and then if if Shri Mataji, I don't know, Shri Mataji, would you like to end with a meditation? I know that you have time.
We're all, because I have to go now.
All right.
But what I'm saying,
All right.
it should be left open to that.
Yes.
You should please take it seriously. And you should join, meet these people and learn it. And if you can prove I'm wrong, I'll be very happy to accept it. That's not so, because I know what you are. I can see much more than you can see yourself in the mirror. And that's what I'm saying, the divinity is there. I will be very happy. But do you think WHO will ever listen to me? Doctor? Straightforward question. Though I knew you Secretary General, I have met him, I know him very well. But never opened my mouth to him. So conditioning. They can't see beyond medicine, anything. I'm very happy you have such a compassionate view of the whole thing. If you have, I'm sure you can work it out. Who else?
In Somalia, people are telling me these people are starving and are paying for their past lives. And then in scriptures it says the last shall be first. And you see these children dropping like flies. And what's to be done about these people? I mean, you don't give them food, you give them nutrition. And everything is so much hypocrisy and everything, even in, especially the medical profession. Jokes.
Shri Mataji, I'll just try to summarize. This is in Somalia just now. There are millions of people starving and children dying and so on.
I know.
And just to give them something to eat is hypocrisy. You know, what can we do about it? That's the question.
I agree with you. It is not hypocrisy, I would say, to that extent, but that doesn't solve the problem.
The question is, are such people born in those places paying their past karmas? Why do they go to that?
We shouldn't say like that. It's being very harsh to say they are paying for the karmas of all of us, I should say. Because we have such disparities, we have such wrong ideas. It's a collective. But whatever it is, how do you solve your food problem? Now if I tell you, you won't believe. If you have vibrated water, you can grow 10 times more what you are growing today. Ecological problems can be solved also. We have experimented. But who listens to us? It's a thing little beyond our mind. If you can just jump into that state, you can see it clearly. Ecological problem, we have tried some very simple method by which we have solved a problem. But for that, you have to really feel the way doctor is feeling for everyone, that we have to do something about it. If I say we have something within us which can work it out, why not get to it? So precious. Yes, madam. Yes.
This lady is asking.
We are from Bridgeport, Kusatali College, and I am writing for the paper. And I would like to, do you have something to say for the students? Only some people who go there for book learning and scientific learning, What about the spiritual learnings? Should that be added together?
This lady is coming from Bridgeport, and from Bridgeport, it's a city in Connecticut. She's coming from there. She's writing for a newspaper there, and she would like to know whether you have a message for students who are learning various disciplines. Should there not also be some process of spiritual learning? But
Of course.
that's
It's
the
not
question.
learning, madam. It's not learning. It's something happening within you.
Yes, but somebody has to tell
Yes, we can ask some people and you can interview them and they'll tell you. It has changed the attitude of children so much you won't believe. Absolutely. I mean, children become so beautiful after coming to such. And very intelligent, very dynamic, very wise. You see, they talk like grandparents to us. Very sweet. So something that is in them also which has to manifest. But you know what is the situation now? I was so shocked to hear that the police has abused 200 children. How can you do that? But they do it. Again, no respect for your own children. I'm happy you are concerned. Such a lot can be done for them. Absolutely, no doubt. We have some schools and we are working it out. Those children you must meet, you'll be amazed to see them. We have to save our children at least from this madness that's going on. In South England, I would say in London, there are 2,000 children who are 12-year-old age, less than 12 years, are taking drugs. Shocking, isn't it? After getting this joyous ambrosia within yourself, you just don't do all these things, just you give up. I don't say don't do anything, I never said. But you'll just not do it. You'll not do it. If we could be of any help, it would be really great. And these people are here, they'll tell you how you can do it. It's very simple. And children are so sweet, I tell you. So innocent, it works so fast. They are the quickest to get self-realization. We have to save them. Not by having organizations to save the child, but actually giving them their divinity. That's all.
Yes.
Shri, last night I asked you two questions. I asked you if the process of self-realization was only, how could I know if it was that it was a spiritual experience and not just a physical experience? And you said to study it, to learn more about it. And I plan on doing that, and already I believe that it was a spiritual experience. And I've experienced it before. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga in Paramus, New Jersey for 2 months. The other question I asked you was, is your way the only way? And it was a little hard to understand you, but what I believe you were saying to me was that self-realization is the only way, which I also believe.
Well, the first question that you asked me, I think I answered it, didn't I? That you have to know what are these centers. You have to master it. That's the answer of the first. All right. Now the second one, you asked me, is this the only way? Now, in a seed, if you know, there's a primule. That primule is the one which shoots off and becomes a shoot. That's the only way. In the same, within you, in this triangular bone, which we call a sacrum, perhaps the Greeks knew because they call it sacred bone, is this residual energy, which is your primule, which sprouts. But to become the tree, you have to know all about it. All right? I've answered you.
Yes, thank
May God bless.
If there are other questions related to how to learn more about this, we have asked you to fill a form so that if there are classes in the UN or outside of the UN which are free classes, you will be informed. So if you're interested to know more about how to actualize this experience of self-realization, just leave your name by the table at the exit. Is there any other question?
This lady asked you something, Gregor?
She asked me whether she could meet you after this program, Shri Mataji. I said it's going to be difficult today.
All right.
What is your proposal? You asked, okay.
I'm not sure what is this continuing weekly program here in Manhattan. Is it an extension of what we've been discussing today?
Yes, it's a class which takes, we have to distinguish, okay, this is a class which will take place at the East Side Community Center, and that will present what has been just hinted at in a nutshell in the very short time we have available. And this will be outside of the framework of this society here.
Mataji, it's always bothered me a little bit since your husband was such a high dignitary in the United Nations and has so much visibility and power. Why didn't you use that more to spread so much yoga?
What's on? What's the question?
The question is, your husband was a very senior civil servant with the UN, and at that time you didn't bring Sahaja Yoga to the UN. You didn't make. Why is it so?
No. I didn't think that UN was hopeless. No, I didn't what that was. What I felt was my husband is sort of a big boss there. I should not try to use his position. Would not be good. Anytime I can get them. I know that. So it is better to be without that feeling that people get, now look at her, these ladies, and most of them, Mrs. Chiang Kai-shek, then we have this lady, that lady, all of them doing lots of things like that. With their position of their husbands. I didn't want to bask in his glory. Moreover, it's not proper. Leave them, let them have their freedom to decide. And after all, I'm going to live, so I can manage them later on. That is one of the things I thought of, that I should not sort of, because it will be difficult for people to say no to me. I didn't want to take their freedom. Of course, I know UN people will come to Sahaja. I'm sure of it. Because whatever I know about them, they are very intelligent, sooner or later. And they are concerned. They are concerned. Main thing is they are concerned.
Just a comment for Dr. Sharma. We just, Dr. Muktalik, who has joined us a few minutes ago, and he got his realization in an airplane from Shri Mataji.
I must tell you about Dr. Muktalik. Also a very interesting thing happened with him. That I was traveling by, I think from Vienna, and he got into the plane and sat next to me. And suddenly he started asking me about yoga and things like that, and he came to know who I was. So he said, "Are you then Mataji Nirmala Devi?" I said, "Yes, I am supposed to be." So he said, "All right, why not give me realization?" I said, "All right, have it." And he had it in the aeroplane. He got his realization in the aeroplane. And he said, "I was going by another flight, but today I suddenly decided to come by this," and he got it. While this time I was coming, I think in the plane I gave realization to at least 25 people. Really. It's remarkable. We never even felt the journey. Yes, madam?
Would you consider doing it for us?
Would you consider doing it for us, the question?
For what?
Would you consider doing it for us, is the question.
Realization.
Yes.
Regarding your time business, I have to catch a plane. But you are quite capable of getting it. In no time. Just now you got it already. You put your hands towards me, see. Most of you must have felt it. Just put your hands. You'll feel a kind of a cool breeze in your hand. Or maybe hot sometimes. If it is hot, just forgive everyone, that's all. Are you feeling, madam? So you have got it.
Thank you.
Let's see, how many are feeling? Put both your hands up. That's it. May God bless.
That was a little trick of yours.
Now you have to just see how you grow into it. That's all. I told you that I knew that I'll get you and people in no time like this. Imagine, I didn't do anything, just worked out. You are just proving my faith in you. I think I should take your leave because I have to catch a plane. I'm sorry, you see, this plane business is terrible sometimes. May God bless. Yeah. Still time about 10-15 minutes. कसं काय डॉक्टर साहेब? वा, आनंद झाला. कुठे आता आता?
बॉस्टन जवळ जातो.
बॉस्टनच्या जवळ.
रिटायर झालो इथे.
हो, सांगितलं पण सेटल झाले.
तिथे माझे मुलं असतात म्हणून मी एक घर घेतलं.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, I'll tell my mother.
Hey, give us your kid. She said she was someplace else. Correspondent. Yeah, they were all.
Yes, because I went all over. I think I had to look for like.
So where you going, Big Bill?